Hey everyone, and welcome to the Women's Health Education Awareness Podcast. We are public health Cal Poly students who have dedicated this nonprofit to improving women's health through awareness and education. Our goal as an organization is to address health topics that will help women feel empowered and take charge of their overall health and well-being. We specialize in topics about mental health and exercise, mental health and COVID-19, domestic violence, and suicide. Today, you will hear from our team to learn more about each of our specialized topics and how they relate to women's health. First, we're going to hear from our expert Becca on mental health and exercise.
Mental health is an important women's health issue because, according to the Office of Women's Health, many mental health conditions, such as depression and bipolar disorder, affect women more than men. Mental health conditions also even affect women differently than men. Further, exercise is also a concern among women's health because only 49.3% of women aged 18 and over met the 2008 Federal Physical Activity Guidelines for aerobic activity through leisure time aerobic activity. These statistics regarding women's exercise and mental health are concerning because regular exercise can decrease symptoms of depression and anxiety. To learn more about the impacts of exercise on mental health, visit our topical section on our website.
And my name is Abby, and I'm going to talk a little bit about domestic violence. Domestic violence is a pattern of abuse within a relationship and encompasses many forms of violence. Domestic violence is a public health issue that has emotional, mental, and physical effects on survivors. Domestic violence can affect individuals across the lifespan: children, adolescents, adults, and elders. While the majority of people who experience domestic violence are female identifying, all genders can experience domestic violence. Almost 1/3, or 30%, of all women who have been in a relationship have experienced physical or sexual violence by their intimate partner. For adult women alone, domestic violence results in more than 2 million injuries and 1,300 deaths each year. Domestic violence poses great risk to both the physical and mental health of survivors. Whether you think you might be experiencing domestic violence yourself or you know someone who is, it is important to be educated on the signs and symptoms. To learn more about domestic violence advocacy and prevention, visit our topical section. Next, we're going to hear from our expert Gabby on mental health and COVID-19.
The coronavirus pandemic has forced lockdowns across the world, with many people confining to their homes, resulting in social isolation, which can cause negative effects on our mental health. During the pandemic, about 4 in 10 adults in the US have reported symptoms of anxiety or depressive disorder, a share that has largely been consistent, up from 1 in 10 adults who reported these symptoms from January to June 2019. During the COVID-19 pandemic, the perceptions of women, such as nurturing and caregiving, have put undue pressure on women, leading to excess stress and the exacerbation of associated mental health conditions. To learn more about how COVID-19 is affecting mental health, visit our topical section.
And finally, we're going to hear from our expert Katie on suicide.
Suicide is defined as death caused by injuring oneself with the intent to die, and it's the 10th leading cause of death in the United States. Between 1999 and 2019, suicide rates have increased nearly 33%. In 2019, more than 47,500 Americans died by suicide, and about 1.4 million Americans survived a suicide attempt. Suicide death is more prevalent among men, but non-fatal suicidal behaviors such as suicidal ideation, deliberate self-harm, and suicide attempts are more prevalent in women, especially younger women. Adult women attempt suicide 2 to 3 times more often than men. Younger women between the ages of 14 and 18 attempt suicide twice as often as their male counterparts of the same age range. The higher rates of suicide attempts among women are partly due to the higher rates of depression in women compared to men. To learn more about suicide education and prevention, visit our topical section on the website.
Our organization, WHEA, is highlighting all of these health issues because women, in particular, experience these health effects. Women have the right to knowledge regarding their personal health, and we hope to empower them with resources to do that. WHEA is here to shine a light on women's health and hopes to inspire others to take action. Click through our website at womenshealth16597788.wordpress.com to find further discussion on these topics and find more credible resources. Check women's health education awareness on your favorite social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Snapchat. Thank you for listening. We hope you continue to empower yourself through health education.